Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is drugs in ophthalmology. The commonly used pharmacological agents in ophthalmology are antibacterial drugs, antiviral drugs, antifungal drugs, mydriatics and cycloplegic agents, antiglaucoma drugs, then steroids, then NSAIDs, antiallergic drugs, lubricating agents, viscoelastic substances, dyes, and also anti-VEGF agents. The modes of administration in ophthalmology include the topical instillation, in like eye drops, eye ointment, gels, occlusives, and soft contact lenses. Also, there is periocular injections in the form of subconjunctival injections, subtenon's injection, retropulbar injection, peribulbar injection. Also, there can be intraocular injections and implants, that is intravitreal drug implants, and also systemic administration of the drugs. So in this presentation, we have discussed the commonly used drugs in ophthalmology which can be kept in your exam, and few of them like anti-glaucoma drugs, NSAIDs, and viscoelastic substance will be discussed in the next semester. Also, these drugs will be shown to you, and the revision will be done in the next semester. Starting with fluoroquinolones, these are broad spectrum antibiotics and have activity against gram positive and gram negative organisms. They are bactericidal drugs and they inhibit the bacterial DNA synthesis. These are used in bacterial infections of the eye such as conjunctivitis, corneal ulcer, keratitis, keratoconjunctivitis, blepharitis, dacryocystitis, and also they are used preoperatively. Then dosage. Uh, it is used 4 times a day for bacterial conjunctivitis and every 30 minutes for bacterial corneal ulcer. Depending on the severity, it can be given 1 to 4 hourly per day. Then it can cause hypersensitivity, and ciprofloxacin particularly causes drug-related corneal deposits. Now, individual drugs, the fluoroquinolone group contains the ciprofloxacin, which is available as 0.3% solution. Then it causes corneal deposits. It is a specific ADR of ciprofloxacin. Then ofloxacin, it is available as 0.3% solution. Then is moxifloxacin available as 0.5% solution, and catifloxacin as 0.3 solution. Whenever these are frequently used fluoroquinolones. So whenever you get this drug in examination, or for that purpose any drug in examination, you have to describe it under the class of drug, mechanism of action, indications, and dosage and adverse reaction. So for example, moxifloxacin, it belongs to class of fluoroquinolones. Then it is available as 0.5% solution. Then its mechanism, indications, and adverse reactions. Now this is an eye ointment, that is chloramphenicol plus polymyxin B ointment. Chloramphenicol is broad spectrum antibiotic, primarily bacteriostatic, and is used against gram positive as well as gram negative bacteria, rickettsia, chlamydia, mycoplasma. Indications: it is used in conjunctivitis, keratitis, and blepharitis. It is least toxic to the corneal epithelium, and it is in combination with polymyxin B. This ointment can be used at night or BD, and it is given in conjunctivitis, keratitis, and blepharitis. It is used for intraocular, also for extraocular, conditions of the lids, conjunctiva, and cornea. The netamycin, it is a broad spectrum antifungal drug and effective against Candida, Aspergillus, Fusarium, and Cephalosporium. And it is used as topical application of 5% suspension, and this produces effective concentration within the corneal stroma but not in the intraocular fluid. It is a drug of choice for Fusarium solani in keratitis, and it adheres well to the surface of the ulcer, making the contact time of the antifungal agents with eye greater, but it is not recommended for injection. So this is used in fungal infections, fungal corneal ulcers. Next is prednisolone. It is a synthetic corticosteroid. Then it is effective for external as well as intraocular inflammations. Then contraindications are acute untreated purulent ocular infections, then dendritic keratitis, viral diseases of cornea and conjunctiva, fungal disease of the eye. Adverse effects are they tend to rise the IOP, and which may lead to optic nerve damage, visual field defects. Also, there is posterior subcapsular cataract formation due to prolonged use of prednisolone. Next is carboxymethyl artificial tears. These are lubricating eye drops, and it can be used in conditions like dry eye, blepharitis, corneal dystrophies, chemical burns, then systemic diseases which may cause dry eye. They are like the Sjogren's syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis, vitamin E deficiency, and Steven Johnson syndrome. Then cyclopentolate eye drops. Cyclopentolate hydrochloride 1%. It is an anticholinergic drug. It indications are cycloplegics for children under age of 12 to 20 years, and it is contraindicated in narrow angle glaucoma and hypersensitivity. Its adverse effects are that it tends to raise IOP, then blurring of vision, photophobia, dryness of mouth, headache, or allergic reactions. Then is tropicamide. It is most common anticholinergic mydriatic drug. 1% causes paralysis of accommodation, 0.5% produces mydriasis with slight to cycloplegia. It is used for diagnostic processes and also pre and post operatively to dilate the pupil. Its contraindications are again narrow angle glaucoma, and adverse effect is it can cause stinging sensation. Then is homatropin eye drops. It directly blocks the muscarinic action of the acetylcholine. Indications are cycloplegic refraction and treatment of inflammatory uveal tract conditions like uveitis. Then contraindications are patients with occludable angles, then also who have allergy to atropine. And adverse reactions are it can cause follicular conjunctivitis, vascular congestion. Then atropine. Atropine sulfate is an anticholinergic, inhibits the muscarinic action of acetylcholine, and it is used for mydriasis and cycloplegia, and also in inflammatory conditions of iris and amblyopia therapy. And it is contraindicated in again narrow angle glaucoma, and if there is hypersensitivity to the drug. And adverse reactions, allergic responses, blood vision, photophobia, dryness of the skin, mouth, and skin rashes are the adverse effects. So this is a table showing the age of the patients in which the common cycloplegic and mydriatic drugs are indicated, its dosage, peak effect, and time to perform the retinoscopy, its duration of action. So you should know all this. The next is atropine 0.01%. It is effective in controlling myopia progression over 5 years, and it has minimal side effects, negligible effects on the pupil size accommodation, and no effect on the near acuity. So it is used in to prevent the progression of myopia. Then is proparacaine hydrochloride 0.5%. It is a topical anesthetic. It is used in procedures like suture removal from the cornea, tonometry, gonioscopy, removal of foreign bodies, conjunctival scraping for diagnostic purpose, and other short procedures which require anesthesia for short time, like short procedures of the cornea and conjunctiva. Then for tonometry and other procedures of short duration, 1 or 2 drops are instilled just prior the evaluation. But for prolonged anesthesia, 1 or 2 drops in the eye are instilled every 5 to 10 minutes for 3 to 5 doses. Next is lignocaine. It is used as a 2%. We use it for giving peribulbar block usually. It has quick onset of action and high degree of penetration. Then the drug is recommended for topical nerve block, infiltration, and epidural injection for dental analgesia, and it may cause drowsiness. So this is a very commonly used anesthetic agent. The next is bupivacaine. It is also an anesthetic agent available as 0.5%, and it has a slow onset of action, and it is usually used with lignocaine for local anesthesia, nerve block, peribulbar and retrobulbar blocks usually before surgeries. So these are a few commonly asked drugs in your exams. This will be revised in the next semester, and few points will be added. And also there are few drugs like NSAIDs, anti-glaucoma drugs, viscoelastic, which will be discussed in the next semester. So thank you.